Hi, everyone. Welcome to SPIREDPodcast. Spire Therapy's podcast that's all about giving you real skills for parenting, relationships, and just learning how to navigate life with a little more calm, confidence, and connection. I'm your host, Denise Santangelo, mental health therapist, certified ADHD specialist, and women's health specialist and DBT certified. This podcast will be completely unedited, mainly because I'm trying a new thing to see if it is better without the edits. Does it feel more real, more organic? And also because it's Labor Day and I don't have my video editor to help me. So let's get started and see how this goes without any edits. So today we're talking about something so many families deal with, anxiety in kids. You've probably seen it. Your child suddenly has a tummy ache before falling asleep on Sunday night or the morning of a test day, or they ask the same what if question 20 times in a row, or maybe they're standing frozen at the edge of the soccer field while the coach is waving them in. And let's be real, it's hard to not catch their anxiety ourselves, right? Our kids are worried, and then suddenly we're worried about they're worried. And it's like anxiety is suddenly contagious. But here's the secret: when kids are spinning, what they really need is for us to be the calm in the storm. And I know easier said than done, right? But that's why today, what I want to do is I want to give you two concrete skills to help calm your child's worry. And then a couple of quick mindset hacks for you so that you can stay grounded even when your own heart is racing. And to make it practical, I'll even answer some of the most common parent questions that I got before airing this. They're all just different scenarios that you probably will nod along because they've happened to you. So let's dive in. Skill one, the worry reset. So picture this: it's 8 a.m. and your kid is supposed to be getting in the car for school. And instead, they're curled up in a ball, insisting that something bad is going to happen. And your coffee is still cooling on the counter and you're already late. This is when you pull out the skill called the worry reset. It's a grounding game that gets them out of their head and into the moment. So here's how it goes. Okay, kiddo, tell me 5 things you see right now. And then you ask them for 4 things that they can touch, 3 things they can hear, 2 things they can smell, 1 thing they can taste. By the time you're through, their brain has switched gears. Instead of running through disaster scenarios, they're focused on the fact that they can see the dog, they can feel the blankets, they can hear the neighbor mowing the lawn. It's like hitting the reset button, and it helps them to ground themselves and get moving. Another skill you can use is called Name It to Tame It. Now, this is another one that's really helpful. And if the first one didn't do quite enough of what you need and you need to do a second one in the moment, roll right into this one. So imagine your child says, "My stomach hurts. I can't do this." You know it's anxiety talking, but they don't. This is where you help them name it to tame it. You ask, "What does your worry feel like right now?" Maybe they say, "It feels like bees buzzing in my head," right? Perfect. Now let's call it the buzzing bees, right? Once it's got a name, you can say, "Sounds like the buzzing bees are loud today. Let's see if we can quiet them down." Suddenly, the worry isn't them. It's not you're worrying, you're anxious. It's just the bees or the worry monster or the alarm bell, whatever you want to call it. I had one kid in my office who drew their worry monster on the fridge and gave it glasses. And every time it showed up, they would say, "Oh, there he is again." A little bit of humor makes things just a little less scary. And then it doesn't go into the worry zone again. Now, let's talk about some parent hacks. So, one of them that's really helpful is breathe before you lead. So, let's talk about you as the parent, because remember, worry is contagious, right? So, because if your child is melting down and you're also melting down, then that's a puddle that nobody wants to clean up. So, here's the hack: breathe before you lead. Take one deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, even if it's quick. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Even if you're in the Target parking lot with a kid screaming about the wrong brand of granola bar you just got, that breath tells your nervous system, "Hey, you're okay." And it models calm for your child. And your calm really does become contagious. It's a really helpful one. So let's try that one today. And I'm going to give you another parent hack right now, and it's called Reframe Your Role. So this hack is a mindset shift, which, by the way, all of these work for everything, not just working with your children. So many parents think in these moments, I have to fix this, right? I have to get rid of their anxiety. But here's the truth, your job is not to erase every worry. Your job is to show up steady, to co regulate, to be the lighthouse in the storm. So when you shift from fixer to coach, the pressure eases. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need your child to build their tools. That's what makes them resilient. So let's go to some questions that I got before I aired this. And I'll try to get as many of these in without making this too long. So, question one I have here is, my 8-year-old refuses to go to school because they're scared something bad will happen. Okay. So, first, validate, right? I hear you're scared. Then don't argue, redirect. Troy reset, we just talked about, right? Pair empathy with action. And if you get stuck debating, then you're going to miss homeroom and you're going to lose the battle. So think validate, just say back what they just told you. It's not that challenging. And then redirect. Try that worry reset we just talked about and give your kiddo that feeling of, I hear you, I'm here for you, rather than trying to give all the reasons why they shouldn't feel that way. And then they're proving to you why they feel that way. And that's all they're hearing is the reasons why they should remain in that worry state. And guess what? They're never getting out of the car. So I hope that one helps the person that asked that question. Second question, at bedtime, my child keeps coming out of their room saying they're too worried to sleep. I love that one, right? Okay. Bedtime battles are classic. Let's try a worry box for this one. I love this one. We make this actually in session. You can get them off of Amazon. That's where I get them for my kiddo clients. They're like, they almost look like a little to go food box that are really just too tiny. You maybe put like candy in them, but they are paper with like a little plastic coating. And what you can have your kiddos do is write their worry down before they go to sleep. Put it in the box and then tell them the worries stay here till tomorrow. Suddenly, you're not the bouncer at Club Anxiety. The box is. And what's important about this is you're teaching them some like real legitimate skills. This is externalization and compartmentalization, right? So they are externalizing their worry. It's not stuck in here anymore. The whole reason why we do the buzzing of the bees, right? It's not them, the worrier. That worry isn't inside me. It's outside of me. I've externalized it. A lot easier to manage something that's out here than what's in here. And then you put it in a literal compartment, right? This is teaching them as they get older, as I'm walking into the math test, as I'm walking on stage and I'm about to sing in front of everyone. I got to put those worries, I got to put what just happened 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 seconds ago in that compartment. I'm not going to carry around my little worry box, but I'm going to put that in my head, put it in that compartment. Imagine sitting on it, tapping it and saying, I'll hit you later at around 5 o'clock when I got time to worry or think about this. Okay. I hope that one helps out that parent too. Okay. Another question. My child asks me the same reassurance question over and over. Will I be okay? Will you be here when I wake up? Okay. This is another real classic anxiety question. Health worries, worries about like, what's going to happen after I go to sleep. So instead of repeating yourself 47 times, flip it. Say, what can help you remember that, right? Instead of saying, yes, you're okay. Yes, you're okay. Ask them, what can help you remember what I've just told you? Maybe it's a note on their nightstand or a stuffed animal as a reminder. Sometimes in session, we'll make bracelets that'll have, specific colors that will remind the kiddo of like some breathing exercises. We'll do like a little part that's like brown for like hot chocolate breathing, right? Where they do and they imagine holding their hot chocolate and breathing the hot off of the top, right? You're building a self-soothing muscle, not just being Alexa on repeat. Okay. That was a good one. Next question. My 10-year-old panics before soccer games. Should I let them quit? This is a good one. I have a lot of parents that ask me about this. Like, am I keeping them in this? Am I making them have like this horrible experience, right? Answer, no. Normalize the nerves, right? Life is about doing hard things, right? My favorite thing to teach kids, and I tell parents this all the time, is the lovely distress tolerance. It's what we're not super good at, right? But when you have your kiddos in therapy young, you're giving them the tools and the skills that maybe we didn't have because it wasn't as, prevalent, and accessible when we were younger. So do not go for the quitting, right? Normalize the nerves. Lots of kids feel jittery before games, right? This is normal. That's their body getting ready. Give them a little of the science talk too, right? When we get anxious, we're immediately in that mode of like, right, what's about to happen? And what happens behind the scenes in our bodies actually amazing, right? Anxiety is a normal human emotion. We need it. It helps us focus. It helps us get ready. Cool stuff happens. Like our digestion slows, our eyes dilate, we sweat a little less. We get ready to put all that go into fight, flight, freeze mode, right? So it is a good thing to be ready to do what our body and brain needs us to do. And then give them some breathing techniques to do before the game, right? I remember seeing my own son one time before a baseball game. I was like so super proud. He was actually sitting with his legs crisscross applesauce and his arms out in meditation pose, sitting on the grass, literally grounding in the ground, just readying himself to be ready for anything in the game, right? So practice this breathing before the game. Quitting tells the anxiety you win, right? And we don't want anxiety calling the shots. Okay. That was a good one. Thank you for that. Last question. What if I'm anxious too and my child notices? So, this question is beautiful. It brings us right back to the beginning. Be real, but keep it short, right? Yeah, I get worried sometimes too. Here's what I do. This is what we can tell our kiddos in these moments and take a breath right in front of them. Remember, your worry is contagious and so is your calm. So let's keep it in that. Let's keep being that calm in the storm for them. That's more powerful than pretending you're never anxious, right? That is not something we want them going for. Perfection is not something any one of us can achieve. So why do we start when they're little telling them to go for something that we know is not attainable? I hope all of these helped. And before I do any of these, I'll try to post them so that you've got at least an idea of what's to come. So you can send me in questions beforehand. I definitely want to start live streaming these so you can ask me questions on the fly and we take it from there. Okay. But I appreciate your time. Have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.